NFEKtIOUS Dreads. I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be about root maintenance. And I was going to do a before and after video, but I accidentally deleted the before video. So I'll throw some pictures up now. Boom. Alright, and this is my dreads now. Now keep in mind, I usually don't do a video around this time. So, a little disclaimer in here. I usually don't do a video around this time. I usually do them right after I wash my dreads. I went a little longer. I went about a week without washing my dreads because of the simple fact that I wanted to do the maintenance. I wanted to leave it maintained. I wanted to leave it alone for a good week, you know, just to keep it in there, to keep the knots formed. Because I don't use wax. I don't use nothing like that. So, I just wanted to, you know, keep it in there normally. So, I gave it about a week. So, usually I have a clean head when I do a video. Now, my dreads a little rough. I do, like I said in previous videos, I do have a dandruff problem, and it's at the root. So you might see some dandruff, but bear with me. This is after. Alright, I'm not sure how that looks. I have to check it out. Alright, you're probably asking yourself, why is there a dry erase board here? Why is it rigged up to this door? Well, the simple fact of the matter is, I tried to do videos of how I actually maintenance my dreads, and the simple fact of the matter is the videos came out bad. Either the lighting or whatever, I could just never get the videos right. You couldn't tell what I was doing, you couldn't see what I was doing, so the videos, it made no sense, so I just scratched those videos. That's when I lost my before video. But let me start out with what I use. I use rubber bands to section my hair, which this is all preference. This is the way I do it. This isn't the best way. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm not saying that it's the only way. I'm saying this is the way I do it because of my situation. Like I said in previous videos, I have to wear a hat a lot of the time. So, with work. So, you know, the roots don't get a lot of room to move around, a lot of time to move around and do their own thing. So I kind of have to help the process out. So this is how I do my dread maintenance. So my wife goes, I have my wife, or, you know, you can do it yourself, have somebody do it for you. It's easier if you have somebody do it for you, to be honest with you. But my wife goes through, make sure all my hair is sectioned perfectly, because I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, it drives me crazy. But she sections it for me, make sure that the loose hair is in the right dread, you know, in the rubber band with the right dread. And, you know, that's the first step. And let me go ahead and say, I keep the rubber bands in them for a week. As soon as I wash them, as soon as that first wash, I sit there and take them out. And like I said, this is the only time I go a week without washing my dreads. It's just to keep the progress in there because I don't use wax. So it helps it kind of get stuck, you know, it helps it knot up a little bit to not put it through the stress of washing, because it's pretty much like your roots will be baby dreads. It's like how they are when they're baby dreads. They're not knotted. You're just starting knots. You're making knots for them. They're not dreaded. All right. I use that. I use the Lock Pepper and the Lock Sculptor from Dreadhead HQ. And as long as you use them like you're supposed to, as they're intended to be used, you won't have any issues with them. All right. So here is your dread before the maintenance. You got your dread, all this is pretty much dread. And from here down, you're going to want about 2 inches of loose hair before you even attempt to do this, or before you attempt to even try to do maintenance. You want to have at least 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches of hair. So all this is straight hair. This is the scalp. That's all straight hair. This is the dread. Okay, so when you rubber band it, you want to leave space from your scalp, because if you do it right on your scalp, they'll stick straight up. So you want to leave space to where it can still move around, the dread can still move. So you want to leave that little bit of space there, enough to move them around, and then put the rubber band on them. And then that turns all this loose hair into like a little poof. It all comes out on all sides. And it'll also do a little bit of shrinkage because it tightens up a little bit, whatever. Okay, so this is still all just loose hair. It's just all poofed out. Also, you know, coming out on all sides. And when you get this, this is when I get the lock pepper. I put the lock pepper on a hard surface. I just dab my finger in it. Rub it on my fingers, rub it through the dread, all the way through the dread. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I do it one time and it covers my whole dread. You know, I do it, which my dreads aren't this long, but I do it and it covers my whole dread. After I do that, I get the lock sculptor, which this video is not a video on how to crochet. There's plenty of good videos. I'll leave a couple of links in the description on a couple of good crocheting videos. And so this isn't not a video about that, but I will show you how I hold it. I hold it with the hook towards me, and let's say this is my dreadlock. There's loose hairs, loops coming out. I hold it right here. I go through and I scrub it on my thumb, so I pretty much catch those loops of hair. Get doop, doop, pull it in. And that's what I do. I go all the way through all sides. You don't want to go just from left to right because then you're going to have just pretty much a flat dread. So you want to go 360 all the way around, front, back, side to side, all around, you know, front, back, side. You want to do that. And also a good tip about crocheting is you always want to start towards the scalp. If you start up here and work your way down, if you start at the end of your dread and work your way down, by the time you get down, you're going to mess up the progress you've already done. You're going to mess up your progress. So always start maintenance at the closest to the scalp and then work your way out towards the tip of the dread. And then after you do that, and the best way to do it is you want it to be cylindrical, so I hold it between my fingers and give it that look, and then I roll it between my fingers. I roll my dread between my fingers and kind of go in there. And like I said, you want to pay attention to what you're doing. You're not just going crazy. Like I said, I'm pulling hairs. I could feel it across my thumb. I'm not stabbing my thumb. I'm just using my thumb as kind of something to use to help drag it in, so I don't. Because if you grab a whole wad of hair, it's just going to hold in for a second and pop out sooner or later. So you want to grab pretty much individually hairs or a couple of hairs at a time. You don't want to grab a whole bunch of hairs and try to pull it in. You want to take your time with it, and after a while, it'll just come natural to you. You'll be able to do it. So when you do that, you have the loose hair, or you have, that's the scalp right here still. You got the rubber band. And then it's not going to be as tight. Like I said, this is pretty much like baby dreads. But something that you will notice is that you are going to lose a little bit of length. Because all this hair that was just straight hair, it's all intertwined now. It's like loops going this way, loops going that way. And it's all, mixed up. And so like I said, I don't use any kind of wax or anything like that. I actually, I don't use nothing in my hair. Except, what I've said. I don't like that. It's aggravating. Hairs. So, that's pretty much it. That's what I do. I just go from side to side, front, back, side to side with the crochet. Taking my time. Like I said, this isn't a video showing you how to do it. It's just showing you if you've already understand the concept of crocheting. Then that's what I do. And then that's what I do. I leave the rubber band in only a week. Take the rubber band out, and the rubber bands aren't tight, so it's not going to leave any. When by the time I take the rubber bands out and wash them, all of this is just going to be like, because you wash them, they're going to get a little fluffy. They're going to get a little poofed out, especially while they're still young. Mine are only I'm in my 4th month now, not quite close enough to 5 months yet. But that's how I do maintenance on my dreadlocks. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been Infectious Dreads. I appreciate you watching my video. If there's any questions, leave them down in the comments. I love to have conversations. I love talking about dreadlocks. So if you got a question's a dumb question, anything, I don't mind answering it. I don't mind I don't mind going back and forth with it. I actually enjoy it. So if you do got a question, if you enjoyed the video, you know, a good way to keep up with it, I'm going to try to do videos at least once a week on something. You know, I want to do different videos. I want to do different things. So I want to at least do a video a week out here and see how that goes. Try to get on a schedule. You know, I got a crazy schedule, so it's hard for me to stay on a certain schedule with this. I gotta do it when the kids are busy, when the wife's busy. So, but I appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, throw a like down there. You know, subscribe. I'm gonna try to do this weekly. So I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.